Welcome to week 4 of the Nebula Music Podcast topic review with Sam Blakelock. In these segments, we are going over marketing tactics that helped Sam grow all of his Instagram accounts to superstardom level. Next question. This is the one I get all the time, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the top 3 that you get all the time. How to grow my Instagram, how to grow my account, especially if I'm a beginner, if I just started, or even if I have a couple thousand, but you want to get it to that point where, Pickup Jazz is and when your account is. How do we do it, Sam? I mean, give us the lowdown. How do we grow our Instagram accounts?
Yeah, let's dive in. So this is specifically if you're a musician, an instrumentalist, or perhaps a singer, and you have, let's say, less than 2,000, perhaps you have between 300 and 2,000 followers, and you're trying to just break through from it being friends and family to being actual fans who love your music. These are some things to consider. And I've seen these work with clients who I've worked with, and also I've just given out this information for free, and I've seen people grow literally from 300 to 20,000 over a few months by applying these things and then improving on them in trial and error. So number one, of course, is the content. We keep going back to this, Eddie, but it is still the thing. The product has to be good. You can't fake it. You can't cheat the system. The content has to be good. And it has to be every day. It has to be better and better because there's more people joining. So the noise is getting louder and louder. So the quality content. And going off that, think about it as how many boxes you can tick. So there's different aspects of a video on your phone. There's what you look like, the clothes, lighting, sound, camera angle, what instrument you play. Everything comes into play. It's like it's entertainment, really. So as many of those you can change or just consider the better. And obviously some of those you can't change, but there is a lot which you can. In a previous episode, we talked about that, which is lighting, camera angle, location, equipment. You can really boost the quality of your product. So I can't emphasize that enough. But some specific things, hashtags, got to use them, put them in a comment. I used to use 30, I think between 10 and 15 now is better. And also definitely try and rotate them between your posts because it doesn't like it when I think it's called shadowing. What is it called, Eddie? Have you heard this term?
I actually am not so sure what the term is, but I know what you're talking about.
Shadow ban. Okay, shadow ban is, I don't know if it's made up, but I've researched it, and the concept behind it makes sense. Is if you keep spamming the same hashtags, then that's gonna come across. You might come across spammy, and then anyway. I'm rambling here. Rotate your hashtags. Have 5 of them stored up in a note-keeping app and just copy and paste them. So very important, and make sure that they're relevant to what you're doing because you really want to get into the curated channel for your instrument. There's one for drums, guitar, vocals, piano, stringed instruments. And I don't know exactly how to get into them, but I know that using a relevant hashtag is going to help by labeling your content. Okay, the third thing is being nosy. You want to get out there and comment on people's posts. You want to comment on curated pages posts, for example, Pickup Jazz, or there's University of Rock, there's drums accounts, there's singers accounts. Always leave a comment on there, reply to people, dive into the comments and be known. Even for an account as big as mine, which is not even that big, but nearly 200,000, I read every comment. And trust me, people with accounts above 100,000 to 1 million, they are super into Instagram, even more than you. That's how they got to that point. And they will read all the comments. And they will notice you if you keep commenting. And then that's when a feature could happen. And that's when you're going to get 1,000 followers in a day, which is going to be a nice boost. But again, going back, your content has to be great for them to feature you. The last thing is more of a general big picture thing. Switch your thinking from your content being about you to it being about your followers. You're serving them rather than showing something that you're practicing or something that you're interested in. And this should be reflected in your content and also your caption. So you want to use words like you, or you want to be asking questions. You want to be thinking what they're thinking, feeling what they're thinking, and giving them what they want. Of course, you're expressing yourself, but when you're changing from a personal friends and family following to working towards something like 10 to 40,000, it really needs to be about them for you to get to that point. Eddie, anything you would recommend for people trying to break out of that like 300 to 2,000 follower space?
Absolutely. And I think, Sam, you cover practically everything. I think the one thing to always remember, guys, is that your page is basically your brand, and you have to make sure that your content is always good and that you're basically feeding your fan base. That's what's going to make them want to come back for more. But one of the steps that helped me a lot when I first started out is actually collaborations. I'm not sure how much they play into nowadays, but I'm sure they still have a very good amount of, they help you quite a bit. And by collaborations, I mean like reaching out to other people on Instagram that could be maybe a little bit bigger than you, maybe not as big as much, but the whole concept is to work with them on something, hopefully a video, and have you guys tag each other in that, because at that point you're basically accessing each other's fan bases. And I did that a lot when I first started. I collaborated with as many people as I could. And I even managed to collaborate with some pretty big drummers at the time, which gave me a really nice boost when I was starting out. And my personal advice when it comes to approaching people with collaborations, it always helps to have the content made already. It's hard to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, let's do something together. And especially if they're already successful and busy, it's going to be difficult to keep that conversation going. Not saying it won't happen, but it's harder. So if you were to make a video, make the music, have the plan already ready to go, and your content is good, by the way, and it's a really good video, and you approach someone politely and say, hey, by the way, I think you'd be great in this video. I would love it. I'm a big fan. Let me know what you think. It's easier on them because then they can see it, they get it right away, and they can know if they want to be involved or not, and then you continue the conversation. So collaborations, if you have the time, definitely worth your while to try and collaborate with some other artists on Instagram.
Going off that point, Eddie, is just actually not even asking, is to get someone's video and just play along with it and post that video side by side with them. It's a little bit dodgy, of course, because you're reposting their content, but more often than not, they're going to actually see that and reply that. And in most situations, they're going to probably enjoy that and will notice that. And it's a nice way of building those initial connections. And I've seen it done by guitar players will play along with their drummer, or a bass player will lay a little bass line behind the drummer. And it's a nice way to build relationships and also create engaging content.
Absolutely, guys. So definitely remember hashtags. Make sure you're active on those comments. Make sure you're posting regularly and try your best to collaborate or to, basically put yourself out there with other people's content. And I think your Instagram pages will definitely see significant growth if you check off each of those boxes, just like Sam suggested. This has been a Nebula Music Podcast and Pickup Jazz topic review. I hope that you found this very useful, and definitely tune in next week because we will continue going over more details that will help you push your career forward using social media and other creative ways.